Hello, I just wanted to speak on my horrible situation with stigma destroying my life, destroying my family, destroying my businesses, all because of a misunderstanding of who I am. That's what stigma is. Stigma is a misunderstanding where you have false beliefs about someone for a certain reason. I had injured myself and I had internal bleeding and it gave me anemia. And anemia is when you don't have enough blood to give you normal oxygen levels through your body, through all your organs, through your brain, and it affects your behavior, which I never knew anything was even possible. I had been arguing with my wife and just letting things upset me that wouldn't normally upset me, and she left me. And as soon as she left, I went to the doctor. I was going to try to prove to her that everything was okay. And that's when I found out how sick I was, how I'd lost a lot of blood, how I was anemic. I was in shock because I couldn't, it happened slowly. So the symptoms sneak up on you and you really can't tell until you have it severely. And once I found out that it causes terrible anxiety, panic, things really bother you, I realized that it had been making me a different person. I'm a very calm person who was really acting not like himself at all. So when I found out what happened to me and I realized that I was acting different to my wife and I wasn't the same person, I was sure once she heard that, she would save our marriage. You know, we were together almost 20 years. We had the happiest marriage. We never even argued until I got sick. And we had a beautiful daughter. We had a great life. And after she heard that I had anemia, she just got madder and said that I was using it as an excuse and that I was making excuses up for how I was behaving. And that is what stigma is. Stigma is not understanding or realizing a condition that a person might have and saying that it didn't happen, but making up other things. So she's blamed me for everything else possible you can imagine, except for what actually happened, that I lost blood and got anemia and my brain wasn't working normally. So I had a lot of problems with it. I was having terrible headaches, up all night, major sleep deprivation. But I just thought I had a lot of stress in my life. This happened during the pandemic year. So I didn't go to a regular doctor or even the hospital because I didn't think what I had was that bad. And it never even occurred to me that anything that I was dealing with physically could affect me mentally. But it was severely. So my wife is doing everything she can to punish me for getting sick. She has taken my daughter away from me. She had the cops come and kick me out of the apartment because I sent her a text message. She's had me jailed for sending an email. She's just furious and she wants to make me suffer for something that was a complete accident. I did not know what was happening. I didn't mean it. And that's not who I am. And once I was able to get my blood levels back up to normal, I went back to who I always was. And I was a kind, good person my whole life, but with the anxiety, I was acting very stressed out, very paranoid. Things were really bothering me, but it was temporary from the symptoms of the anemia, which I never knew. And I barely knew what anemia was at all, let alone these these effects that it has are not widely known. People don't even widely talk about these things. So that's why I'm talking about this whole thing, because I got sick and it ruined my life. I'm a great father. My wife's doing all she can to keep my daughter from me. She's accused me of everything possible except what actually happened. She's accused me of things that happened with the businesses during the pandemic, with the supply chain crashing, which I didn't have anything to do with. She's mad about everything. She hates me. She never spoke to me again, and she's taking our 7-year-old daughter away from me as punishment because I said some mean things when I was really sick. And the worst part is almost nobody will listen to me. I have a few good friends that really understand, but my wife, her family, her friends, they all just want to punish me and hurt me because I did act different with the anemia, and I was very stressed out and I said some mean things, and none of them are empathetic to understand what happened. And it's the worst thing possible because this is breaking up my daughter's family. We had such a happy family, and now she's having a great father taken away from her just to punish me because I acted differently. And it's not fair. It's not what happened. I'm being accused of somebody I'm not. I need help, but there's no one to help. No one to help. Everybody wants to stay away from this. They don't want to be involved. The one person who did get involved, one of my wife's good friends who really cared about her, my wife stopped talking to her because she thought she was just taking my side instead and didn't understand she was explaining what actually happened. So I'm just praying for the truth. I'm praying that the truth will come out. I don't want this happening in any way. I want my family back together. I want my daughter. I'm a great father. Nothing ever happened to my daughter in my care. Nothing ever happened besides me saying some mean things to my wife. That's it, and this is so bad. So please, stigma is bad. It's never right. Stigma is the misunderstanding of who someone is, and it's never right. So please, if you can help me with speaking up, because this isn't right. I just need help. I need help, and there's nobody out there to help me. There's plenty of people to take all my money, to harm my family all they can, get my wife excited to do this whole thing, saying that, get rid of him because I got sick. And it's so wrong. So please listen to my words and please help me. Please help my daughter. This is so wrong to everybody, and nobody's just stating the obvious. If they knew what was happening, they would realize no one is stating the obvious except for my wife's one friend out of all these other people. So if more people speak up, I'm praying that it will become obvious to my wife that she's making a huge mistake, and we can end this horrible tragedy, because no tragedy should be pushed forward. And if we save this, we can have the happiest, most loving family ever if we got back together. But she needs to not be acting with stigma and have true understanding of what actually happened. So thank you so much. Please help me.